Hi everyone. So until now we have worked with Power Apps to build our QNA application, and we have learned basic concepts about all the functions, all necessary functions we need to know as a beginner in Power Apps. Then we had a look at responsive applications. Now what we are going to do, we are going to build one simple Power Automate application. Using that, we can send email notifications to the user. So as I mentioned earlier, the app flow will be simple. Whenever the item is getting added in the list, we will send the notification to the department members and vice versa. If any department member respond to the question, it will send the notification to user. So let's switch over to my desktop. So you just need to go to make.powerautomate.com, and here you can see there are a lot of flows option available. So I'll just give a basic summary of it. So we have the flow types called automated cloud flow. So what it does, that it is triggered by a specific event. So let's say you have a SharePoint list or SQL database server. So what you want, whenever a new item get added in that list, you need to trigger the flow automatically. So in that case, we will use automated cloud flow. Second one is we have the instant cloud flow. Then we can trigger this manually if we need it. So let's say into a Power App application, you have one button that says trigger a cloud flow. So on click of that button, we can trigger this flow. So let's say we have the button that on select property, we can trigger that event. So let's say on visible of any screen, you want to trigger an API, you can do that. Then in the cloud flow, we have the schedule cloud flow. So it is work in such a way that it's up to user that how often we want to run that flow. So let's say if you create a flow that will run at 12 a.m. every night, we will use this cloud flow, and at the end we will have a desktop flow, that means our RPA. So for now we are going to use automated cloud flow. Like if we add an entry in the SharePoint list, a new item will get added. So whenever the item get added, we need to execute the flow. So I will select the name as QNA app notification flow. I will select when an item is created or modified, because first when the item is added, its status is response pending, and if department member modifies something, then its status change to answer. So we need to trigger the flow on two events, when item is created and when item is modified. So I will choose this trigger and I will click on create. So trigger is basically starting point of your flow. So how the flow is going to start, it's a little bit spelling mistake here, it's a notification flow. Okay, so it is asking me for site address. So from which site the list is located, I will select the Power Apps training. Here we have the list name, that QN list. Like whenever the item is added in the QNA list, then we want to execute a flow, right? So that's why we have used the QNA list here. Then what we need to do, I need to set a department into a one variable, because we have the department member list. What we are going to do, we are going to look up in that list. So let's say if I added a one question for the IT department, so flow will go to department member list, search for the IT department and pick up the department members, and we will send the email to them. So to store the department member, I will use variable. So here also we have variable options. I will select for initialize a variable. I will rename it. So keep in your best practices that you rename every action in the flow, and also you use the proper variable name. So if you share the flow or app to other developer can easily understand. So here I have the initialize variable, that's a department name. I will put the name as variable var department name, and the type of it will be string, and the value will be As you can see, when an item is created, all the list column name will appear here. So I will just select status value. Then we need one more variable that hold the status. So I will just click on the ellipsis. I will just copy this. I will click on new steps, click on my clipboard and select the department name. I guess there is one issue. So I will rename this action as status. I will put the variable name as where question status. I will select the string and the value will be status value. For the department, we have department name value. So this is we have done. I will save this. So what I will do, I will just create one entry in the SharePoint list just to make sure that flow is running. I will click on ask question. I will put that this is to test. Then I will put department name as IT, that means information technology. I will click on submit. I will go to flow. I will check. I will open it in a new tab. Say if there is an entry added in the list or not. Yes, as you can see, this is used to test is added here, and this is our flow. So as you can see, it is succeeded. I will click on it. So we'll just check what values are storing in the variables that we have initialized. So as you can see, the department name, it is storing information technology, and in the status response pending. So yes, it is working fine. So the next action I'm going to perform is I'm going to look up in the department member list to fetch the department members. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get items, to get items. So just think about it like using get items trigger, we are applying filter for this list to check whether the information technology is present, and if it's present, it will return all the department members. So this logic we are going to implement here. So you just search for get items, then we will search for the site powerapps training, and in which list we want to check in the department member list. So in the department member list, actually it's get items, not get item. So I will select get items, this one. Then we have to select department, then the list, and here we need to apply one filter that says in the list, as you can see, we have the department name here, but the internal name was title. So what we are going to do, we are going to match the title column with whatever the value we have in variable. So I'll just zoom in. So as you can see, title equals single quote, and I am going to add the variable name where we have the department name and close it. And I will put the top count as 1 because only one item we are going to get for each department, because there will be no duplicate entries for the IT technology. So this is we have done. Now we will save it. So what I will do, I will go to list. I will add multiple members for this. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'll just do a test run. So I will click on test, go to automatic, and here we have recently used this. So I will test with that. Just select the test and it will run the flow automatically. So as you can see, it is showing that your flow ran successfully. I will click on get items, click on downloads to see what is showing. So as you can see, the response we have got, we have one item ID 1, and as you can see the department members, we have 3 items. The first one is me, second one and the third one, right? So we are getting this value, right? So we have completed our 20% of work so far. Then what we are going to do, we want to pass this, right? Now I will go to next new item. Because the response we got, we need only department members from this. We don't need these details. So what we are going to use, we are going to use a parse JSON function inside Power Automate. We are going to pass one schema, and using that we are going to get that value. So I will simply select parse JSON. Then it requires the input. So for what we are going to do, the content, because as we are only getting one record at a time, so what I'm going to do, I will just go to expression here, and I need a first record only, right? So I will type the expression as first. Then from where we are getting that, I will select value, right? Inside body we have the values. So I will go to here and I will select values. And then I will pass the schema. So this schema you need to pass here. The whole complete schema you need to pass. I will put this in a description so you can just copy it and paste, right? Then after that, what I will do, I am going to use a compose variable, or let's say variable, to store the item ID, because if we get this information, then we need the department members, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use get item property now, because as you can see we are getting the ID here. From that ID we are going to fetch department member email. So let's click on get item, select the site as a department member site, select the list as department member list, and the ID we are going to use as a expression again. I will go here. As you can see in parse JSON we have so many things here, but we need ID for. So let's check this again. I will go to test, go to recent test, save it, and let's check whether we are getting ID or not. So as you can see the flow has been ran successfully. Just click on it. As you can see we are getting the response. Then I will click on edit again, and after that what we need to do, when a new item is created, we need to send the email to department member, and whenever the item is modified, then we need to send an email to the user. So here we need to apply one condition. So in Power Automate we have the control, that is condition, and I will just rename it that check item status. I will choose the value as where question status, because we are storing that value here. If it is equal to response pending, then we need to send email to department members. So I will just select here email. For email we are going to use Office 365 Outlook connector. So as you can see, we have several options available, but what we need to select, send an email v2, that we need to select here. Now for the two, as you can see, where whom we need to send the email, the department members, and we have 3 members in that. So what I will do, I will click on dynamic content, and as you can see, from the get item property we are getting department members email. So I will just click on it, and as you can see, as soon as I clicked on it, it will go to in a loop. That is because we are storing multiple person in that group. So let's say there are 3 people for the IT department, so it is going to trigger 3 times. So first it will go to me, then Louis, and then Mike. So for send an email, I will put one subject like new question added in QNA app, or I will just do chat GPT. Create a sample email for my QNA application. So whenever new question is added, department members will get notified. Create a notification email. I think we need to change the prompt, notification email. That new question added, and it needs your response. Okay, so what we can do, we will just copy the subject from here. Then for the body, we are pleased to inform you that I don't need this. Okay, we just need this. Fine. So what we'll do, hello. Then we will use the department member display name, right? So we'll use one display name. Let's say hello Mike, hello Louis. Then we will put, please take a moment to review question and provide your response. Your contribution is partially crucial role in enhancing the knowledge base and assisting user with their bodies. It's very formal, but I'll keep it for the demo. Then these are the steps. I think we'll use one footer. Best regards. What I will do, I will also put the question detail so that user can easily saw the details in app only. So here I will put as a question. So I'll just zoom in a little bit so you will get understanding. So here I will put title. So we are going to get a title from when an item is created and modified. So this will be our question title, right? I will put question dash title, then asked by. So who asked the question that we are going to show. So for that, what we have created by, right? So as you can see, there are many created by. So here you can see, but we need to get it from the very first trigger when item is created or modified. So I will select created by display name, and what I will do, I will just put the app link here so the user can access. I will go to power apps. Let's go to here, apps.powerapps.com. Go to this QNA app internal, click on ellipses, click on details. You need to click on copy to clipboard. I will click on it. Let's say if I hit enter, it is going to open this application. Okay. So this is a very basic thing. As you can see, we have the Power Apps header appearing here. We can hide it. So you just need to add one parameter in the URL. That is, I will zoom my screen. Okay, I think it is not working on the URL bar. So it is just a simple command that says and hide nav bar equal to true. If you hit enter, then that Power Apps header will be gone. So I generally use this kind of URLs. So whenever I want to share the application with my colleagues or clients, so I just add this parameter. I'll copy and send it over email. So I'll simply copy this URL, go to Power Automate Flow. I will create another variable. So first I will save whatever we have built so far. So I will just add an action that says variable. So where is this initialize variable? I will rename that this variable stores app URL. So I will just put as where app URL. This will be a string and the URL here. I'll just go to condition, go to emails, and here I will put the app link. You can also use the HTML editor here. So for that you need to click on this code view. What I will do, I will put anchor tag here, a, then what we need to do, href equals, in single quote we need to put that app URL, and then we need to give a text like open app and need to close anchor tag. If I go here, show advanced option, if you want to keep someone in CC, you can do that. You can adjust the email settings also. So for now we are good with it. So what I will do, I will just copy this action, I will save it. So this is our first criteria. Whenever the new item get added, if the status of that item is response pending, then it will send the email to the department member. And in the else condition, what it will do, so let's say if the item status is rather than response pending or it is answered, then it will go to the user who have created that question. So here also what we are going to do, we are going to use send an email action. I will select send an email, then who I need to send it, whoever created that question. So I will select created. So when an item is created modified, and I need created by email. And again chat GPT here, I just need to modify the prompt, create a notification email for my QNA applications. So whenever response is added to my question, it should notify me. Okay, so this is really long, so I'll just copy the subject, that notification for QNA application, new as response added to a question. So I just need this. I will go to flow, subject I will put it here. I will say hello, and whoever created that question, their name should appear. So I will choose created by display name from the first action. For the body, I will use we are excited to inform. Okay, okay, so this is fine. And best regard or thank you, we can include this also. And here also we are going to provide a question details. So whatever the question is, it is a title, and the response it gets. So I'll choose response here from this action, and at the end I'm going to put app link. So I'll just copy it from here. So here also I need to enable the HTML editor, and then need to put app link. Okay, so I'll save it. Okay, so let's try it out. So I will go to my power apps. So just wait until the flow will get saved. Okay, so this is saved. I will copy this app URL. I will hit in a browser. So what I will do, I will ask a question at it's a Q&A app question. Let's see where we have found some. Okay, so I'll just copy this, and in information technology we want to share like the department member list where we have 3 members. Okay, so IT department. Okay, so I'll submit the question. So as you can see, the question has been submitted, the name and the date is appearing. So we'll check the flow again. I will save it. So the email will go to 3 users, including me also, because I am also the member. So I'll just open Outlook here, and this is the another user. So the latest email is triggered now. So as you can see, I got one email to another user. Please take a moment and all. The question name, asked by, and the app link. So I'm going to open the app. Make sure that whoever you are sending email, they also have access to the application. So currently I have 3 peoples here. So all these have access to my application. Because sometimes it happens like this, we are adding the members in department member, but they also need to have access to the power apps in order to add a response. So what I will do, I will go to second user. As you can see here, I need to submit answer. I will add my response. I'll go to ChatGPT again. I will copy it. I will add a big response here. I will submit this response. So the response has been submitted. Now the flow should run twice. So we'll wait till it runs again. So as you can see, I also got one email, new question added, because I was the member of that department. Now I will get an email that says that the response has been added to your question and the description, question and the app link. So we will wait till it run again. We'll click on all done. Okay, I got one email. So as you can see, new response added to a question. This is the greetings text, whatever my question is, and the response is added here, as you can see. And if I open the app, you can see the line is changed to green. And if I click on show answer, it is showing me the complete answer. If I click now, if we play the application completely, you can see when I click on answered, it is going to show me all answered question. If I going to click on response pending, I will submit an answer here. Okay, you got it. I will click on submit. So there is no active question there. I will select department, like I need only information technology questions. So as you can see, we are appearing here. If I click on response pending, then there are no pending. If I click on answered, and I need to see only IT department questions that are answered, I will select this. I will click on show answer. It is working fine. And same for the second user. So if I refresh it, so the app is working fine. I'll go to list. Here I will go to site contents. In the QNA list, so you can see the latest one we have added. So this is all about this sample project. So we have learned the basic concept of Power Apps. If you have any doubt at any point, you can let me know in comments. And in the upcoming videos, we are going to learn some more advanced topics of Power Apps, Power Automate. We are going to do migration like from one tenant to another tenant, like how we are going to export it. We are going to have a look at solutions and all. And this is majorly focused on user experience. So if I run inspect and if I check this in tablet or mobile, so as you can see, it is well optimized for mobile also. If I increase the width of the device, you can see it is appearing, and the controls also are not visible here, because if you remember, we have added one filter that if the device width is greater than 1300, then only it will appear, as you can see. Oh yeah, this is all about the Q&A application. Thank you.